This is Utah Tech basketball and the John Judkins Coaches Show.
And hi there once again, and Happy New Year, Trailblazer Nation. Welcome to the John Judkins Coaches Show. Rod Zundel, along with the coach of the Trailblazers, John Judkins. Trailblazers coming off with probably one of the more exciting games of the year, Saturday night in Burns Arena. Overtime, 96-92 over Florida International, the second game of the WAC USA Challenge. Coach, your guys had to make big plays down the stretch, and they did. That's got to make you feel really good now as you get ready for the new year and head back into WAC play.
Yeah, again, you hate to wait to the end to work on those kind of plays, but those are things you can't really do in practice. It's got to come in a game. But I was happy with the effort. The games that we've lost, the last four or whatever it was we lost in a row, was our effort wasn't there. The energy, it's just, I don't know if they were tired, what it was, but I saw that energy again. Maybe it was giving them some time off. I don't know. But they came with the energy again, and when you do that, we're a pretty good team.
Yeah, now you played at Colorado on the 21st, Thursday, then you let them off for Christmas, so they had, 4 or 5 days to get fat and happy?
Yeah, fat and happy.
Enjoy their time with their families?
Yeah, and they needed that. We all need that. We all need a little bit of a break once in a while. It's a long season, and they got their batteries recharged with their mom's home cooking, whatever you want to call it, and then they came out ready to play back again. And it's hard. You have that break and people, that's not that big of a deal. But giving 2 or 3 days off helps them, but also it can hurt them if they don't get in the gym. And so we challenge them to at least get in the gym once a day, to run and shoot a little bit, and then spend the rest of the time with their family, which they did.
And you mentioned that when they came back to practice, they had a little bit of rust and a little bit of food, chocolate and candy to wear off, but they did pretty well, and you were pleased with the way they came back.
Yeah, I was really happy with that. Again, it just tells me what kind of guys we have. I mean, they did exactly what we asked them to do, and I didn't want to start over. You don't want to start over and have to get them back in shape. And I know everybody goes, how do you get out of shape in a week? You can. To catch your second win, it's a lot harder when you haven't played for a while. And so that first night we were running, and they were gassed, and they were running to the trash can once in a while. But they all came back pretty ready to go and had the energy, and they were excited, and we needed that.
Know the feeling. They didn't have to take a break, and I know that feeling, what they went through. Yeah. All right, so Saturday night, Florida International, they're a quick team. They are third in the nation in total steals per game, and they had a guy by the name of Turo Dean that was number 1 in the nation in steals for a game. You fell behind by 12 in the first half. You came back, cut the lead to 3. Second half, you went up by 10, and let's pick it up right there. You're tied at 80 in the final 20 seconds. Let's show you what happened. Now, just explain. You have the basketball. Explain what you wanted to have happen here.
Well, we wanted to shoot the ball with about 6 seconds on the clock. That way you have a chance to tip it in if you miss. Something we haven't really done a lot with, but I was really happy with how they executed it. We ran a high pick and roll with Tanner rolling him, and then popping Jalen, and he was wide open, and he didn't hesitate. That's what I liked about it. He didn't hesitate, and he lets one go. Noah was open there too with that one more pass. But they come down and hit a tough shot, and that's something that we want to work on better. We had a foul in. We talked about, okay, if we make it, we're going to foul. We're up 3. Wait till it comes across half court, and we just didn't get that.
And in overtime, Tanner Christensen, what a second half in overtime he had. He had 13 points in that stretch.
There's a good offensive rebound. We talked to our guys 3, 4s, and 5s half the board, and then here we do a double stagger screen. Tanner rolls. Wide open, good ball fake by Noah. The ball movement, the spacing was good, and Tanner gets a wide open dunk right there to start. So now we're up 4 or 5, and here we go again. A great no-look pass, wide open to Jello in the corner. He played every touch of the rim. He hit that with that shot, but it went in. I loved it. That was one of my favorite ones, and one of my favorite ones, I don't know if you have it on there, is I wanted he got a 4-point play. But he was being aggressive, great tip in by Eric. He's not supposed to rebound on the offensive end, but we'll give him that one because he made it. But normally he's a guy, we call it in the hole, that has to slow the ball down in transition. But again, great shot right there with Jello, wide open, pull-up jumper, came up a little long, and then Eric tipped. I was really happy with that first 2 minutes of overtime. We came out and scored, and then we got 2 stops, and we had a third stop, but the ball just bouncing around. We didn't get on the ground for it. and they got it, and they hit a shot, on that. But, the effort was there, Rod. The effort was there. We got to work on that up by 3. That was one thing that we didn't do great with fouling with under 6 seconds at half court or beyond. We like to foul there. And then Jalen had a mistake, but again, he had a great second half. Didn't play the first half, comes out second half. Played really well, and we're up 4 with about 30-something seconds, I think it was, and he tried to dunk one over a guy and missed it. He's got to learn that sometimes time and possession is more important than that. But I love how aggressive he was, and so it was hard for me to get mad at that. But that's something he has to learn, and something we have to learn as a team. But that's a good team. I mean, they pressed the whole game, Rod. It wasn't, some teams press on made foul shots, some press. Those guys press, make misses, foul shots, whatever they could. They were into a press, and we did a pretty good job of handling it. When we did handle it the way we talked about, we got good shots. Sometimes we were on our heels and we jumped to pass. When you do that, you're going to have turnovers.
You mentioned Kambala's 4-point play. We're going to see that a little bit later because he's going to join us in the next segment. But Eric Demings, 18 points in the second half and overtime, 10 of 16 from the free throw line. That shows aggressiveness by your point guard.
Yeah, and he's got to keep getting to the foul line. I like that part. That means he's coming off ball screens, making things happen, making the defense commit. He's got to find the open guy, and if they don't help on him, he's got to take it to the hole. And again, he's getting better. He's a freshman. He's growing. He's getting better. I thought he had a good second half, too, in Colorado.
Record-setting night for Noah Gonzalez. You wanted him to shoot more threes, not be so selfish. And, man, did he come through. 7 3-pointers. That is a single-game record for Utah Tech University. And it was ball movement. It wasn't just him one-on-one.
Yeah, this one he does a good ball fake. He jabs. The guy goes under the screen. They switch. He's got the big guy on him and hits a wide-open 3. Yeah, he hit 6 the first half, and he was, again, not hesitating. And here's another good one. He just spaces out. Gets a few second catch and shoot and drills it. He was feeling. When you hit that first one, like you said in the post game, when you hit your first one, you think your second, third, and fourth one are going to go. This is great ball movement right there. We just get it out, 2 extra passes, wide open 3.
That's number 3.
Number 3. And Jello with a great assist there again as well. Again,
breaking that press
here comes the press, and look how open he is on that one. And our game plan was layups, dunks, or threes. Take what they give you, and there's a wide open 3. Here, this is one of my favorite ones. In, out, an extra pass, another extra pass to a wide open 3. We call that Kentucky shooting. We have that one of our drills, and that was very nice. Good skip pass, read the defense, shot fake, gets him off his feet, gets his feet set, knocks it down.
That's 6 in the first half there.
Yep. Second half, he only shot 2 shots. So they did a good job on him, but there's a good in and out. Again, feet set, ready to shoot, and we want Noah to knock him down, and that's exactly what he did last that game.
You had 25 turnovers with that press. You understand why they're top 5 in the nation in steals. But when you broke the press, that left Noah wide open and other players for him to have a record-setting night like that.
Yeah, and again, that's why I love teams that press, because if you do handle it, you're going to get wide open shots. Yeah. If you don't handle it, then it's a long night. And we did okay. We haven't seen that kind of pressure all year long, and so that was the first time they saw it. But next time we see it, I think they're going to be more prepared because when we took care of it, Rod, and we were on our toes and we were ball faking and we were getting wide open shots.
All right, Jalen Searles did not play in the first half. In the second half, 11 points on 4 of 8 shooting, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Like you said, he was aggressive, and you waited for that.
Well, we've been talking to him a lot about that. He just got to be more. There's a great drive right there he just had. Sometimes he lives and dies by the threes, and I think he's one of the best at just driving it. But this game, he shot the 3 well. Because of that first drive, I think they had to gap him a little bit, and then he hits it. You got to have it all around game. There's a wide open. Here's another one where he took care of the ball. Great feed to Larry for a wide open 2-hand dunk. Again, just taking what the defense gives you. Again, another one right here where he's bouncing a little bit. Not one of my favorite shots, but those guys on the bench were loving that one.
He's not afraid.
A fadeaway 3, But again, when you're feeling it, when you're in that zone, sometimes those things. This was, like I said, this was a good one. I liked the last play. Yeah. Shot it a little early. We started our offense a little too early because you want to go for that last shot, but you got to have a chance to tip it in. But maybe 2 or 3 seconds a little bit earlier we wanted to, but I like the results.
We touched on this a little bit. Eric Demings, the freshman point guard out of Texas. It seemed like in this game he kind of took control and didn't take matters in his own hand, but became the leader more than we've ever seen him before. He had, 19 points, 4 of 7 shooting, 10 for 16 free throws, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. For a point guard, that's good numbers.
Pretty good. That's good numbers. Yeah, he's getting it. The ball's going to be in his hands all the time, so he's got to be able to see that. They didn't help off him, and he gets a 2-and-1 out of it. He's got to come off those ball screens, get into the hole, and then he has to see what the defense does. Here's one where, again, in the corner, again, another extra pass. When you play a team that traps and presses, that extra pass makes a huge difference. Here's one here where, again, a rebound. You saw this one earlier where he stays in with his left hand, tips it up the glass, and puts it in. And again, he does a good job on the rebounding side, especially we got to do a better job defensively rebounding with him because a lot of the point guards will get back. He could do that. But again, good stat number. His last 2 second half, the Colorado second half, and even in this game, his second half is where he's really, really improving.
Okay, you averaged about 69 points per game in regulation. You had 83 in regulation against this team. Other than just shots going in, what was the difference there? Because you need to score that in WAC play to be successful.
Well, the tempo. A team presses you. They do it for reasons. They do it to get steals. They do it to speed up the game. And so again, but you can't give up. You can't give up wide open shots. You got to take them. And that's what we did. And then when you're making them, that's when that score goes higher and higher and higher. So again, it just depends on who you play. If they walk the ball up, or if they push it up, or they trap and press, it's going to be a high-scoring game, and that's what that one was.
Will you take these numbers every game? Field goal percentage, 50%, 14 of 26 from beyond the arc, 32 bench points, 20 second chance points. Would you take them every game if you could choose?
Every game, and the rebounding. You didn't have the rebounding.
Oh, yeah,
we got rebounded by 20.
Yeah.
So, those again, if you do the little things, the result of the game is going to be a win.
Yeah.
When you're shooting the ball that well, obviously our defense is important to us too as well. That you don't have a stat on that, but offensively we shot it well, we shared it well, we rebounded well. You do those kind of things, you're going to win games, and that's why you play the game is to win.
And nearly 60 fouls called kind of kept you out of the flow. They were calling it tight for both teams. If you put a hand on somebody, you're going to get called.
Well, we talked about that at halftime, and Larry had 3 fouls, and Tanner had 2, Beyond had 2. And then again with not playing Jalen there for a while. Stone got some minutes, Caleb got some minutes. Jello got in there and got some good minutes for us too as well, and that's when he turned it on. When he gets in there and got his time, and David wasn't there as well. He didn't play; he wasn't suited, and so it was kind of a crazy game where we're all in foul trouble. We were down 2 guys, but the bench stepped it up, like you said, and that's what definitely we needed. Okay, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we will talk to the freshman point guard from Las Vegas, Angelo Kambala. That's just one of his names, Coach. Yeah, Jello.
Yeah,
J-Lo. I call him everything.
And he has some family history all the way back to Dixie State. Did you know that?
I did a little bit, but I can't wait to hear that
other
part of it.
Yeah, we're going to find out more. That's when the John Judkins Show comes back.
He's on the 30-yard line, the 20, the 10.
You wouldn't want an incomplete football game. So why use a website with incomplete listings of Southern Utah properties? SouthernUtahRealestate.com is the most complete, most accurate, and most comprehensive property search in Washington County. Because we're not focused on everything, just on the part that we like the best. Find your Southern Utah home at SouthernUtahRealestate.com.
Finley Hyundai, committed to high-quality service and sales for local drivers. Stress-free car buying guaranteed.
Got a project at work or around the house? Well, think Bucks Ace Hardware. Think Bucks for all the top brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Stihl. Plus, Bucks has the best sporting goods department. You've got to see their gun department. It's stocked with a great selection of guns and ammo and accessories. 2 locations at the Dino Crossing in St. George or State Street in Hurricane.
We love giving back to our community, and over the years, we have provided vehicles for families in need, supported local charities, and helped train our first responders. Dealer Collision, your place for collision repair.
Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, Canyon Media, here for you.
It's any card for the win right now at Mountain America Credit Union, which means it's time to score some cash. Simply tap, swipe, or click checkout with any Mountain America debit or credit card to be entered into a weekly giveaway for up to $500, now until September 30th. Visit macu.com/anycard to learn how to earn extra entries or to open a new account today.
Lobs it up, hammer dunk! Oh, Turray, the alley-oop to Tanner Christensen. Oh my goodness. That was one of the highlights from Saturday night, breaking that press that we talked about. And Yu Turray just kind of flung it up there for the big fella, and it worked.
It did. Again, like we said, it was layups, dunks, and threes. That's what we thought we could get out of that press. And I liked it because he didn't think about it. He just reacted. He took what they give him. And again, like we were just saying, Tanner was ready, thank goodness. And that's not one of his specialties to do alley-oops, but he was ready. And Larry's normally the guy who gets those, but I was very happy with Tanner going up two hands, catching that, and throwing it down.
Tanner, 15 points, 10 rebounds, another double-double. Also had 4 blocks. 4 straight games now with 3 or more blocks for Tanner. So
and he had 2 in a row that one time. Pop. You know,
he's getting it down. All right, the gentleman right here to our far left, Angelo Kambala. That's his name, point guard from Las Vegas, freshman. But they don't. Does anybody call you Angelo?
Nah, really just Jello.
Jello.
Yeah.
Or as Coach calls you,
J-Lo.
J-Lo?
Yeah.
I call a lot of guys different things, dude. He's a good I get used to it too. I get called Jeff a lot too, so see, I'm okay with that.
I have been avoiding that because in Salt Lake all the time we've had more to do with Jeff than we had you, and I'm paranoid of calling you Jeff.
So I do appreciate him laughing about it when I do call him that.
Yeah.
But he knows what I mean when I call him.
Okay, but your full name is?
Kristaps Angelo Kambala. That's my whole name, yeah.
Okay, so before we get into show you your highlights from the other night, let's talk about your lineage here, because there is basketball in your blood and also in your family that has some ties to Dixie State. Let's start back with you just tell us all about that.
So I come from a long line of basketball players. All my brothers played high-level basketball, and my biological father also played at UNLV. He's Kaspar Skambali, played at is the 10th leading scorer in UNLV history with like 1,000 points. And then my stepdad, Clifford Reed, he played here when it was Dixie State. I forgot what coach it was under, but then he went on to go play at New Mexico State, and now is a Hall of Famer in South Korea.
How cool is that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, when you were recruiting him, did you know that he had those ties?
We knew his stepdad. We knew that. We didn't know well, I guess we did know your dad at UNLV, yeah. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a good thing. It's a small world, isn't it, when you come back to look at it. This is why we like doing these, Rod, that people don't know these things. Yeah. They don't know about I want them to get to know each player. That's why I like to bring different guys on every night or every time. But yeah, he's a good one too. He's a true freshman. Right out of high school. Everybody thinks he's young. He's like a 15, 16-year-old guy, but he doesn't play that way. That's what I love about it. He's one of our best leaders. He's one of our guys that everybody loves to be around. Mm-hmm. He just makes things fun. Practice, games, off the court, fun guy to be around.
Well, in our travels and in practices, and I have never not seen him smile.
He has a good time. He loves what he does. He loves what he does. I know, He has fun. No matter what it is, I mean, he does a good job.
And you're earning the confidence more and more every week with the coaching staff and the confidence. Saturday night, 27 minutes, 11 points, 5 of 7 free throws, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Now, that's a good stat line. Just talk about the confidence that you have now, because they're having more confidence in you and you're seeing it out on the floor.
Honestly, I just feel that, the more that we were playing throughout the game, I felt that my confidence was kept growing. My teammates were trusting me with the ball and also like executing with different plays and just different things like that. And I could tell, like, even Juddy was making jokes in the clutch that when Taylor threw it off the rim, he was like, if you put it up just a little bit more, it would have went in. So I just know that they have confidence in me, and I have confidence in our coaching staff as well.
Yeah, and your three-point shot, you're feeling more comfortable, and the four-point play right there, Coach.
Yeah, that was great. Look at the bench. I mean, the bench is there. I love that part, because he's been there. He's been on the bench cheering them on, and it was fun to have them go. But the thing I liked about what he's been doing so far this year is he hasn't played a lot right off the get-go, but he never gave up. He just keeps pushing and pushing, and now it's paying off for him. He's getting a lot of minutes.
I think we got a smile there again,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, there it is.
So, and then rebounding, you're kind of a big guy in a small body, aren't you?
Yeah, just if it makes it easier for everybody else, it makes it easier also for us to push the ball in transition if a guard gets to be able to get the rebound. And so, just like how it was in the film as well, Noah was playing an outstanding game, hitting shots everywhere, and we just seen him up court, so if it was easier for me to get him the ball.
And that's where he's good at. He knows somebody's hot or somebody's feeling it, get them the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how he played in high school. They had his point guard, they were really good together. And hey, when one was feeling it, hey, keep feeding it, and that's how he is.
It took you a while to get your first three of your college career. It happened last week against Colorado. You're 0 for 6 to start, but now you're starting to feel more confident. Is that just because the confidence they're showing you and giving you more time on the floor? Is that pretty much it?
That, and I feel that I'm starting to now catch up with college basketball. The speed of the game is always changing. From going from high school to college, I felt that I was one of the more faster guys in high school, and then when I got to college, it was a big, like, oh snap, I'm not the fastest guy anymore, I got to work. And so I kept working, and now I feel that I'm catching up more to the speed, so now it feels more fluid when I shoot.
So is the pace of the game, the speed of every individual player, is that the biggest thing you've had to get accustomed to in college?
That and the strength of everybody as well. Like, I'll still never forget my first elbow from Tanner. That was my first one. That was like my welcome to college moment. But yeah, definitely the strength and the speed.
Yeah. So why did you choose Utah Tech?
I love the environment here. This is a up and growing city. The coaching staff they were very serious with me on my visit, and they just told me straight up that if I put in the work, I have an opportunity to play, and I feel that a lot of coaches don't do that. And Juddy, it's always positivity, and he responds to positivity well as compared to other coaches, and I love it, and it's close to home.
Yeah, close to home, because everybody can come watch you play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had everybody here.
I
he brought the whole family. Him and Beion and Noah. That was our crowd on Saturday night.
Yeah. They were about 10 or 15 apiece, right?
Yeah, they were great.
Okay, so Coach, you know nothing about this because you've been tall all your life. You've been graced with that great stuff. Okay, guys like Jello, myself, all the other guys that aren't 6'4", 6'5", kind of had to battle. So in the recruiting process, what did you see in this small package that you liked and you felt like he could be a big part of your organization?
Well, first thing, shooting. Yeah, he could score. If a guy can't score, I don't know where to put him. You can't play him, really. So that was the first one. I loved how he competes. Always playing hard, and no matter when it was. Most time back in the day, we used to say, hey, send us a tape of a good game and a bad game. A good game meaning they score a lot, and maybe a game that they didn't score a lot. I like to see tape on them. Now they don't do that anymore because we can get so much data off it ourselves. But I'll go watch games like that, and I loved where he might have a bad shooting night, but you never see him quit. He still defended. He still passed the ball. He still got his teammates. Like I said, he's one of our best leaders. Yeah. And guys coming in college, I think sometimes they think, well, I'm a freshman, I can't be that leader. Yeah. He hasn't done that. He's always vocal, in the huddles and in the timeouts at halftime. He's always the guy that gets, and that's when you see him have some success. Man, the team is way behind him because he's always behind them. So those are the things that drew it out to me that way. And he's a winner.
Yeah.
You got to find guys that want to win and refuse to lose, and that's how he is.
Okay, that's the coach's reason he brought you in here. What's your reasoning for getting more minutes and getting the confidence in, Coach?
I think he kind of nailed it right on the head. I feel that a lot of people look to me as a leader, even though I'm a freshman. Sometimes I feel like in the beginning they didn't take me as serious, but now that I'm starting to back it up, and I feel that like with my talk and my energy, like just like it's like a flip of a switch. Like we could be maybe down and possibly I get into the game and I could just maybe get a steal, a tip or something like that, and it sparks us all going because it's just one reaction. It's just a chain of reactions that can give us positivity and good flow.
That's the thing I love about him. He hasn't played a lot of minutes early, and he stayed focused and he stayed there and he didn't pout and he just kept making us better. And then, like you said, even if you get in, and Stone did this the other day too, getting in a game for 2 or 3 minutes and just getting a loose ball or getting whatever, that adds up. And that gives me confidence so that when I can get him in, I did. And so things work out for a reason, and he gets his chance, and he keeps going, and he's getting better and better. We just can't wait to see where he ends up.
Yeah. Okay, we talked about your upbringing a little bit. Now we get to see proof that of your childhood. Time for our kid pick segment. Well, let's roll them and see what we got today. There you go.
That's
Look
what
at that
Michael
hair.
Jackson did. Look at that.
Michael Jackson or Kenny G.
Yeah. I love it. How old are you there?
Maybe like 4 or 5 in that picture. And then that's me and my stepdad right there. I was like 6.
So that's what it played here at NC State.
Yeah, and you can tell that's him there. So where'd that hair go?
Honestly, when I was here in the summer, I had a lot of hair, and then it was the day that we had media day pictures, and I was just like, I think it's just time to cut it. I think it's just time. And I showed up, and everyone was like, "Where'd all your hair go?" I was like,
"You still has a lot of hair on
top."
Yeah, you should have seen how much you had at first.
At first, it was down to my shoulders. Yeah, it was a lot.
All right, so we finished off that segment. Now we all have smiles. Now it's time to get back down to business. Boy, you have a couple of big-time games this week. You're 2-0 in the Western Athletic Conference. You beat Utah Valley and Cal Baptist to open things up. We kind of forget about it because it's been almost a month since you played those games, but you're 2-0. Back into WAC play from here on out. Seattle, Thursday night. They traveled to Utah Valley and got beat there, and then 2 days later, you beat Utah Valley here. So just talk about Seattle. They're good, and that's a tough place to play up there.
Yeah, they're 8-5, and they've played some really good teams. They've done a good job, just like we did with the Conference USA Challenge. They won both their games, beat UTEP pretty good, and UTEP's a pretty good team too. They beat Montana State this year up there. So they're playing some really good teams as well. They got 8 of their players back from last year, which we have 3 or 2 really. Caleb was kind of more of a walk-on kind of a thing. So they have that experience back. Playing up there is tough. It's a long way to go. We play up there on Thursday, then come back and play here on Saturday. And so it's going to be a challenge for us. They're picked 3rd in the league. And so today, we talked about it today at practice, was hey, here's an opportunity to go play a number 3 team that was voted on and then play a number 1 team when we get back home on Saturday. So if you're not ready to play for this weekend, I don't know when you're not ready, because this is what it's all about.
Yeah, you come back after Seattle, and Saturday night you got the top team in the league, Grand Canyon, coming in. They're 12-1. They were on ESPN, home win against San Diego State that was ranked in the top 25. They've got all the accolades and credentials and all that kind of stuff, but focus on Seattle first. And I'm sure you've heard about how difficult it is to play against these next 2 teams, right?
Yeah. I feel that, like how he was talking about how everyone had us projected as number 11, and our first 2 conference games, that was an upset to everybody. And I feel like that's kind of just the chip that's on our shoulder this year, that no one believes in us besides ourselves. And that's just going to be an ongoing, we have to prove everyone wrong. And I love to be a part of that. In 15 or 20 seconds, as a player and as a team, what do you want to see and how do you want to get better this week? I think defensively, if we communicate well, it'll be a lot easier game. It'll be one way that it'll be one way that we'll be able to win easier. And I think that if we just fly around, we could do anything. And as long as there's positivity, we're good. Okay, that's his. You. Well, they're good. Like I said, they have one of the leading scorers in our conference. Tyson's averaging 24 a game. We got to know where he is at all times. So we talked about that today, where the guy from North Dakota went off on us, and this guy is a better athlete than that one. We got to know where he is at all times. Like he said, defensively, if we are switching on him, we got to be aggressive. We got to know where he is in the zone. I thought our zone on Saturday was excellent. That's what got us back in the game. We were active, flying around, like he just mentioned. We have to have that same energy. Once we have that energy and that positivity he's talking about, and we share the ball, I think we got a chance. We played really good against them last year here, and that's what we did, and that's what we got to do again. All right, Thursday night from Seattle against the Red Hawks. Game time is 8 o'clock tip. 7:45 is our Trailblazer tip-off show on Trailblazer Sports Vision on YouTube and also on the Fan Sports Radio Network. Then Saturday, you come home, 7 o'clock tip here in Burns, 6:45 pregame. Trailblazer tip-off show. So hopefully the students are starting to get back. They can fill the arena again, and it can be a great atmosphere, because when you come back 3-0, it'll be a great atmosphere, right? I love it, Rod. Thank you. All right, Jello,
Great to have you in here.
Thank
Your
you, I
debut
appreciate it. Yeah, it was
on
awesome.
the John Judkins Show.
Thank you, I
Welcome.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Thank
and continue success out on the floor. All right, that'll do it. We will talk to you Thursday night from Seattle, 8 o'clock tips, 7:45 pregame. See ya. Happy New Year.